Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm Lucas and welcome back to another PSGL F1 League Racing video, and today we've got Jeddah for round 12, it says on screen, of season 34. And yeah, first time I've actually ever done a league race round Jeddah. Hard to believe, given even that, you know, this track has been in the game since I believe late 2021. So yeah, finally having my first chance to actually race around this. Yeah, incredibly tricky track, as you see there, kicking off our first run of Q1 with an big old snap of oversteers we had on the transition through turns 1 and 2, but then winding our way through this insanely technical first sector, so close to actually going over that curve. But we have a nice clean end to the first sector, which will hopefully make up for the mistakes that we made through the opening sequence of corners, which was a place where you can gain and lose a lot of time, especially with how you have to cut over turn 1, and then actually kissing the wall a little bit on that exit, which is, you don't really want to do that, as it does sort of grab you in a bit. It definitely doesn't make you go faster, put it that way. Heading into the final sector now, this insane high commitment left right. And yeah, apart from turn 1 and 2, this lap is actually turning out to be pretty smooth. And we've just got one more corner to negotiate now to round out our first run of Q1. Heavy on the brakes, super late on the turn in. That was actually a really solid last corner as we head to the line now. DRS open, making the distance as short as humanly possible. Cutting the beam now, and it is a 7.52, which puts us P1 and got us through in the first run. One and done, nicely done. And here we are, same thing again, except we are starting our first run of Q2. Heading into turn 1, you want to look for that 100 meter board. Have to cut so much, which is one of my few criticisms of this track with the way they've made it this year, is how you have to cut that corner. We actually missed that apex a bit there, and we get caught in the curb, so we've lost time through that tricky turn 3 left-hander, or whatever corner number it actually is. I think there's like 27 actual corners number wise around here. Getting a nice clean flow though through the end section of sector 1, which will hopefully make up, but it's only a 3.07 sector 1, which is by all means not good. So we have got it all to do now again to somewhat make up for our sector 1 failures, if you like. Heading through the middle sector now, a lot of curb there, and I don't usually use that much curb, but yeah, using every millimetre of road on the exit there without bottoming the car out as we get the DRS open. Heading to the end of sector 2 now, and now we've got this high speed left-hander. We were so committed on that left. It's such a hard corner to nail when you put it on the limit. It's so easy to hit the wall on the entry, so easy to hit the wall on the inside, and even easier to go off on the exit and get caught in the curb as we go into the final corner now. Getting the car in nicely to the apex, trying not to hit that wall as well, using every millimetre, but it's a really nice final sector to the lap, and it's going to be a 5.42 again, putting us provisional P1.
Oh, yes, thank God.
Thankfully,
that sector 1.
as you can hear me say, making up for that deficiency in sector 1. And yeah, then heading, as you can see, we were actually 600s up on our second attempt, which we didn't really need to improve on, as we were safely through anyway. And yeah, as you can see, was definitely not wanting to risk put it in the wall, so we took a bit of safety margin through the high speed. And yeah, then last corner was just, couldn't make up the time, so just had to box. And yeah, that was our Q2 all done and dusted, and nice safely through with Wilson through as well in P3 in the end actually, but same thing. And good stuff, all looking nice and smooth into Q3. Pace was looking strong, so now we've got to try and execute some laps in one of the hardest tracks to not make mistakes as we head into sector 1 now. Relatively clean looking, but not quite getting like the flow through the transitions. Again, not quite making that apex, too wide through there, so definitely losing a bit of time on that opening 3 corners, and then nearly getting caught on that exit curb once again. So it hasn't been, again, probably that good a sector 1. It was really not that easy to nail for us, and then I've made a big mistake here in that left hand. I've scrubbed the rears, I've over rotated on the entry, and this lap is already, you know, pretty much for the bin as we head into the right left-hander, final actual corners of sector 2, and then we've got this high-speed left-right to negotiate, heading into sector 3, diving the car in, getting caught up on that curb, and that is this lap well and truly, yeah, gone. For lack of better words, it is absolutely finished, and it's going to be used basically as a delta, because, you know, it is not a good lap whatsoever. Heading into the last corner, carrying lots of speed, but yeah, this lap will not be of any use to us come the end of qualifying. So we have now got it all to do on one final
that was
proper run. So here we are now, final run of Q3, final run of qualifying. And it's time to put it to the limit around Jeddah. Heading into turn 1, we're looking for the braking point. Do we get it? Yes, we do. Getting the car over that curb, rotate it back nicely. Much better direction change than on the first run, and planting the power. And we have already gained 300 as we head towards turn 3. We need to get to the apex better, and we do very nicely, using all the road. And now starting to get into the flow. We're 600s up, flying through sector 1 now, trying to minimise the scrub all the way through this section, not getting caught in the curb, using all the road on the inside, using all the road on the inside, once again using the limit of the track. And now we have got a 106 sector 1, now into sector 2 where we've made a mistake, and getting to the apex nicely this time, running it all the way up to the wall on the exit, and then now coming to this high speed left, then right, and then left again, which is, you know, one way of describing it, and using literally every millimetre available. And we are flying right now. We are 0.17 up on our lap, but our DRS did not open upon our first click, and now we're losing time, so we have to send it massively, and now we're caught in the curb, and the lap is finished, which is insanely infuriating, as this lap was trajected for pole, which is, yeah, very painful, coming at the last corner, and this lap is done, and we're not going to have a good result in qualifying. And yeah, in the end, we're going to sink down this order, and yeah, it's gutting. It's properly gutting as we end up P9, and yeah, we were 0.17 up on our delta, and we had, well, yeah, we had like a 0.78 last sector, so we had millions of time. So yeah, we were trajected for pole there, but we can't do anything about it. We had to overpush, and we're starting P9. We're in the thick of the pack. You just got to get on with it. That's racing. It doesn't always go your way. So let's get into the rhythm of it. We're starting on hard tyres now. Thankfully negotiated our way through the opening sequence of corners without too much drama. And yeah, now it's about getting settled into the rhythm, trying to get ourselves, you know, in the flow of this race. The cars up front with our teammate Wilson in P3, which is, you know, simply sensational from Wilson. So great job by him in qualifying, I should also mention. You know, it's been a long time coming, and it's been, you know, well earned. Yeah, up in P3, and we have, yeah, the top cars mostly on softs near the front of the train, and then I think Jarno, Nico and I are the top 3 hard runners. I might be wrong on that. I think Freddie ahead is also on mediums, but yeah, we've got a good old mix of strategy here in play, and yeah, it's going to be a crazy hectic race. So let's yeah, let's get settled into it now. Again, as always, maintaining battery, getting into the rhythm. We also had Simon Weigang behind us on the soft tyre that yeah, was obviously trying to, you know, make moves and try and make his way up the order, fighting there against Ismail Fassi, getting around the outside of him into the last corner. So we were a little bit wary of where he was going to be, if he was going to attack or not. But thankfully, yeah, the soft sort of died down quite quickly, and we were able to maintain our position. As you can see, on lap 9 now, pretty much nothing happened apart from Jarno getting past Tom Manley ahead of us, who softs were dying off, and now Nicholas as well, making that move past Tom Manley as his softs. As we move on to lap 10 of this race, 2 people had boxed, as you may have seen up the top left, into the pit lane, off of the softs and onto the hard tyre. And yeah, now we are just a little bit conscious because we have Jarno up ahead on the hards and Nico on the hards as well, and they're the cars we're trying to work with. They're the cars we're trying to, you know, be in the race with. You know, we're all on the same strategy. We've all got our best interests at mind. So we're going to get the move done on Tom Manley into the start of Sector 2. Thankfully, he doesn't put up a fight, and we are now back in sync with those on our strategy. Those who are sort of running the pace with, which, as you're going to see now, we're all going to start, you know, pushing on a bit as the remaining soft runners dive into the pits on lap 10 that were ahead of us. And now we have Freddie on mediums in P1, Jarno hard, Nico hard, Lucas hard, well, me hard should I say, yeah, it's going to be now about trying to decide where is the best time to dive into the pit lane. And yeah, Freddie now getting overtaken by Jarno as his mediums start to dip down just a little bit. Nicholas also thinking about making a move, but here we are. As you can hear Bloom say in my ear, we are going to be boxing at the end of this lap to overcut the cars ahead and to get stuck in to that soft train that had box. So yeah, hopefully this is going to work out quite nicely for us as we get down to the pit lane speed limiter, thankfully. And yeah, now it is going to be a crucial outlap. We need to get, you know, everything fired up and try and overcut, sorry, not overcut, undercut basically the 3 cars that were ahead of us. So Freddie, yeah, Freddie, Jarno and Nico. And if we're able to undercut, why am I saying overcut? If we're able to undercut those 3 cars, we're in a fantastic position in this race. Because then we're going to have, you know, much better track position, and we're going to be able to get stuck into the train. So coming out of the pits now, but Tom Manley, Manley's out, might be a safety car, has hit the wall, and my heart sort of sank as I sort of knew what was going to happen. How unlucky can we get? Oh, that's just not Jarno, Nico, they all got lucky. Yeah, unbelievable. You cannot rate it, but yeah, we got a safety car pretty much 30 seconds, you know, after we boxed or whatever it was. It's yeah, a big shame. And I was actually really, we were almost lost more positions because Simon was going too slow on the safety car delta, which was yeah, not ideal. And we were almost going to lose more positions. Thankfully, we got back to neutral on the delta, and we just got ahead of Jake Benham there. But yeah, I thought we were going to lose more positions as Simon was driving really slowly behind the safety car delta, so we nearly got cost more time there. But thankfully, Simon peeled into the pit, and we were able to neutralise the delta. But here we are now on lap 15, so we've got 10 laps basically to run. We're on P9, we're on the mediums, and yeah, all is not lost yet in this race. We can still try and make something out of this race. We're still on the train, and at Jeddah, anything is possible. So we're just looking for we're looking what's happening ahead. We're seeing Alfie, I think, who was in P1 at this point, go for it in the lead, and Cipos a little bit slower on the safety car restart. So we're going to go side by side into turn 1, having a look around the outside, but we just get a, well, I mean, kind of body checked a little bit going into turn 1. So unfortunately, not able to make any moves there, but not really much we can do about that, unfortunately. But we have Josh behind us on brand new softs, who would be quick for a few laps for sure, but we kind of wanted to retain the track position on. Oh, we didn't kind of. We wanted to retain track position on him, given that, you know, those softs will die out at the end, and we want to be ahead for that as we try and have a look around the outside of Cipos, but he goes in quite deep and covers the position. And we have Josh literally, you know, shadowing every move that we make at the moment as we head into the, you know, final actual corners of Sector 2, and we get kind of caught out on that curb a little bit, and now we've got to be really wary, and it's quite hard to make an overtake on this straight, thankfully. Even if you get alongside, it's pretty almost impossible to get the move done, so we were kind of naturally helped by the way the track flows there. But yeah, heading now into the final corner, one of the most, you know, common braking zones, not braking zones, overtaking zones on the track. So we're going to have, you know, we're going to switch the outside line, but Patrick just drives into the back of Freddie. Josh goes up the inside. and I don't think realise we were 3 wide, and takes my wing off completely. We have to dive into the pits because otherwise we're going to hold up everybody, and our race is already over.
You're going 3 wide. You could see that, Josh, going into the corner. Come on, man.
Naturally, we were not happy whatsoever, as I feel like it was a fairly avoidable incident. Yeah, Patrick, who drove into the back of Freddie ahead of us, was on the outside. I was stuck in the middle, and I don't think Josh realised that there was 2 cars
seriously
on the outside.
They can't.
So yeah, a massive shame, as yeah, we were still in the race in that train, but ultimately
we would have been the first
that was it.
getting
And I've saved you a boring final stint of the race. I just basically drove around until the end because I hate retiring from races. And yeah, I mean, that'll be it for that race. Unfortunately, not really much we can really do about it. But naturally, yeah, that's the way racing goes sometimes, especially around this track. And yeah, Wilson also got taken out as well, and he was unlucky with the safety car as well, which is a massive shame. So yeah, nothing really went right for us in this race, from quali to the safety car to getting taken out. But regardless of all of these things, I actually was still I was obviously still quite annoyed at this very moment when, you know, the race had just finished. I mean, there's literally no emotion on my face, but all in all, I would say it was still quite a positive, you know, event in a way. We had good pace. Qualifying was looking really strong. I mean, we were on for pole, I would say, quite comfortably, until we had the DRS issue, which ultimately I made the mistake into sector 3. I'm not trying to say I didn't. I definitely, you know, oversent it, but I only oversent it as a direct result of seeing my delta flying down and not knowing whether I would, you know, retain the lap. Unfortunately, I was on a it's a shame because the lap was looking good and I think I had pole in the bag. But you know, every driver can say these things. You know, it's shoulda, coulda, woulda for a reason. So at the end of the day, you got to you got to roll with the punches. That's the reality of racing. It doesn't go your way all the time. And yeah, and also please, and I do not want to see any hate comments down below directed towards any driver, whether that's, you know, Josh for the incident or people for causing things. This is not a place to be toxic, and you know, there's already enough you know, drama that we see around the social medias on the league racing side. So let's please keep it respectful. What happens on track happens on track, but it doesn't give anyone a right to, you know, slander everyone endlessly. So you know, please keep it respectful, guys, whether it's towards me or anyone else. That's all I ask down in the comments or anywhere for that fact. You know, it's all good. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed what was unfortunately a shorter race for us than we would have liked. But yeah, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this content. Comment what you thought down below, and until next time, guys, I will see you all in the next one. Love yous all. Take care. Ciao.